Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking at this really interesting idea, living with presence.
Mhm.
And we're using some material from HappyTalk in that, well, it breaks down some practical ways to get more engaged, in the here and now.
Yeah, exactly. And what's interesting about these sources is they're really set up for intermediate English learners, so very clear.
Right, accessible.
But the ideas themselves, gratitude,
Mm.
courage, storytelling, relaxation, and understanding different cultures, these are just fundamental tools for anyone, really, anyone wanting a richer life.
Absolutely. So think of this as like a practical toolkit for being more present. We'll dig into these 5 areas, pull out the key takeaways, and see how they link to well-being and communication.
Sound good?
Okay, so let's start with gratitude. It sounds simple, but there's a lot there.
There really is. Gratitude, well, it's basically feeling thankful for the good things, noticing them.
Big or small, right?
Exactly. And what's pretty amazing is how it seems to affect us, even on a biological level. There's talk about, dopamine release in the brain.
The feel-good chemical.
Sort of, yeah. Linked to pleasure and reward. So when you feel grateful, your brain might actually be giving you a little boost.
Huh. And the examples are so everyday things. A friend being kind, sunshine, family, a nice meal.
Right. It reminds you there's usually something, even on a rough day.
And for language learners, that connection to using descriptive words, wonderful, amazing, lovely, that's quite clever. It pushes you to articulate why you're grateful.
Precisely. And the exercise they suggest is really doable. Just write down 3 things you're thankful for. Simple sentences. Maybe try a new adjective.
Nice and practical.
Yeah. And they also mention the phrase, I appreciate, which is super useful. Like, I appreciate my teacher because she is patient.
It really makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How does consciously, saying thank you to life, even just in your head, start to shift how you see things?
It's a great question to reflect on.
Hmm.
Okay, so from appreciating things, let's shift to taking action. Courage.
Ah, courage.
And they make a really key point right away. It's not about not having fear. It's acting despite the fear.
That's so important. We often think of courage as being fearless, like some kind of superhero thing.
But it's more grounded than that. It's that inner push to go ahead anyway.
And the example of speaking English in public, that's going to resonate with a lot of people, not just language learners, facing any kind of, social anxiety.
Definitely. And neurologically, the idea is kind of fascinating, that small acts of bravery might actually train the brain. They mentioned the amygdala.
The fearsome.
That's the one. And the thought is by repeatedly facing small fears, you might dial down its reaction a bit.
Like building tolerance almost. Gently stretching that comfort zone.
Sort of, yeah. And the examples are things like trying a new hobby, asking a question, talking to someone new, little steps.
Each one building a bit more confidence.
Exactly. And for language learners, the message is crucial. Don't worry so much about mistakes. It's okay to say, hey, I'm learning, and just keep going.
That's so freeing.
It really is. And their little exercise saying, hello, how are you, to a neighbor in English, then just noticing how that felt, that's a concrete way to practice.
Yeah, it brings awareness to it.
Mm-hmm. And they focus on the word try, like, I will try to speak English at the shop. That acknowledges the effort. And also saying, I'm proud of myself afterwards.
We don't do that enough, do we? Acknowledge the effort, not just the perfect outcome.
We really don't.
So it makes you wonder, that small thing you've been putting off, what if you framed it as just a small act of courage? Might that change things?
It's a powerful reframe. Okay, next up, storytelling, which is just so fundamentally human.
Right. Sharing ideas, feelings, experiences through stories.
It's how we connect, how we make conversations, stick,
Yes.
make them engaging.
And for language learners, it's gold. Practicing speaking, writing, picking up those connector words once, suddenly, then.
Yeah, the words that make it flow. And they break down the structure really simply. Beginning who, where, middle, what happened, and how it finished.
Basic but effective.
Totally. And the example story is so simple, going to the park, seeing a dog, it runs away, you laugh, take a photo. It doesn't have to be epic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just finding the story in the everyday, their activity reflects that too. Tell a 3-sentence story about your day using first, then, or finally.
Great practice for sequencing.
Yeah.
And they specifically call out vocabulary like once, then, finally, with examples. Once I lost my keys, then I found them. Finally, I was happy.
Building blocks for narrative. So thinking about your day, what's a small story you could tell, even just to yourself? How does telling it maybe change how you remember it?
It gives it shape, doesn't it?
Right.
Right, next one, relaxation. finding calm.
Something we definitely all need more of.
Absolutely. The source defines it simply: resting the body and mind.
And the benefits are clear, right? Better health, better focus. They mentioned possibly lowering stress, improving sleep.
Which impacts everything else.
Mm.
And the suggested ways are so accessible. Deep breathing, listening to music, a bit of stretching.
Things you can actually do.
Yeah. And the link to language learning is interesting. Relaxing can actually lower that anxiety about speaking.
Oh, that makes sense.
Taking a slow breath and thinking, okay, I can do this. It can really help. And it improves focus too, which you need for learning.
Quiets the noise so you can absorb things better. And yeah, even describing how you relax becomes practice. I listen to soft music to feel calm. Two birds, one stone.
Exactly. And their 1-minute exercise is brilliant. 5 slow breaths, in for 4, out for 4.
That's it.
That's it. And then just notice how you feel. Maybe say, I feel calm because I breathe slowly, reinforcing that connection.
Bringing awareness to the breath. It's simple but powerful. They also give adjectives like peaceful, calm.
And encourage using because to explain why something helps you relax. I relax because I read a book, making those links.
So maybe think about your day. Where could you fit in just 1 minute of conscious breathing or quiet? A little reset.
It's finding those moments. Okay, last area. Exploring global cultures.
Oh, I like this one. Learning about traditions, foods, ideas from all over.
It just sparks curiosity, doesn't it? And open-mindedness.
Yeah.
They give examples like bowing in Japan or carnival in Brazil.
Instantly gives you a picture, broadens your horizons.
Totally. And for language, it's a natural vocabulary booster.
Yeah.
Italian pasta, Indian curry, Chinese New Year. All these words come with culture.
And it helps you connect with people from different backgrounds, using English as that bridge.
Exactly. I like their phrase, the world is a big family. Different, but connected. And learning about others teaches you about yourself, too.
That's so true. You see your own culture differently.
Yeah. And the activity is great. Pick a culture, watch a video, try a recipe, listen to music, then just write 3 simple sentences about it. Like, I learned about Mexico. They make tacos with corn. I like their music.
Makes it fun, not like studying. Manageable steps.
And they introduce useful phrases like in country. In India, people celebrate Diwali. And words like tradition, festival.
Practical language tools for talking about culture.
Yeah. So it prompts that question. What culture interests you? Even a little bit. How might exploring that change your perspective?
It's a lovely invitation to explore. So when we put all 5 together, gratitude, courage, storytelling, relaxation, global cultures, you can really see how they weave into this idea of living with presence.
You really can. Gratitude tunes you into the good stuff right now. Courage helps you engage with the present, even the tricky bits.
Storytelling makes you reflect on moments. Relaxation helps you be present without stress buzzing around.
And exploring cultures opens you up to the richness of the world as it is now. They really complement each other.
And those daily practices they suggest are so concrete. Morning,
Yeah.
1 thankful thought. Daytime, 1 small brave act.
Afternoon, share a quick story.
Yeah.
Evening, 1 minute of breathing. Anytime, learn one thing about another culture.
They're small, aren't they? But you can see how they build up over time, build skills, build confidence.
Absolutely. And that reminder that mistakes are okay, they're part of learning. That applies to all of this, not just language.
Definitely. It really comes down to that core idea. Small steps, big changes. So for you listening, maybe pick just one. Gratitude, courage, storytelling, relaxation, or culture. Try that simple activity we talked about.
Yeah, just dip your toe in.
Yeah.
And maybe notice, which one felt most relevant or interesting to you right now. Why did that one resonate?
And maybe a final thought to carry with you. How could weaving even one of these practices more consciously into your life reshape how you experience the present moment, day by day?
It's an ongoing process, isn't it? Not a destination.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Every little bit counts.